What happens when two of China's biggest stars collide in the most unexpected way? The answer will absolutely blow your mind and change everything you thought you knew about these beloved celebrities. In a stunning turn of events that has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, Wang Yibo made an unprecedented decision that left fans around the world gasping in disbelief. The talented performer, known for his incredible dancing skills and magnetic screen presence, orchestrated what can only be described as the most surprising celebrity gathering of the year. But what transpired behind closed doors was so unexpected, so utterly shocking, that even the participants themselves couldn't believe what was happening. You won't believe what happened next, and the revelation that emerged will completely transform how you see these stars forever. The drama began when Wang Yibo, seemingly out of nowhere, reached out to his former UNIQ bandmates with a proposal that nobody saw coming. Sources close to the situation reveal that Wang Yibo had been harboring a secret plan for months, one that would bring together worlds that fans never imagined could collide. The decision to invite his former group members to join him on this mysterious venture was just the beginning of what would become one of the most talked about celebrity encounters in recent memory. But the real bombshell? What they discovered at their destination will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about celebrity friendships. The destination that Wang Yibo had in mind was none other than Xiao Zhan's private residence, setting the stage for what would become an evening full of surprises, revelations, and moments that would be talked about for years to come. The very fact that Wang Yibo felt comfortable enough to suggest such a gathering speaks volumes about the relationships that have been quietly developing behind the scenes, away from the prying eyes of the media and fans. The story begins several months ago when Wang Yibo and his former UNIQ bandmates began reconnecting after years of pursuing separate career paths. The group, which had gone their separate ways to focus on individual projects, found themselves drawn back together by a combination of nostalgia and genuine friendship that had withstood the test of time and the pressures of the entertainment industry. Wang Yibo, who had achieved tremendous success as a solo artist and actor, never forgot the bonds he had formed during his time with UNIQ. According to insiders who spoke on condition of anonymity, Wang Yibo had been feeling increasingly nostalgic about his UNIQ days, particularly as he watched his former bandmates achieve their own successes in various fields. The desire to reconnect wasn't just about reliving old memories, but about honoring the friendships that had shaped him during some of the most formative years of his career. This emotional undercurrent would prove to be just the beginning of what would become an evening filled with unexpected revelations. The plot thickens when we examine the connection between the UNIQ members and Xiao Zhan, a relationship that had been developing quietly over the past several years. What started as casual industry acquaintances had evolved into genuine friendships, with several UNIQ members maintaining regular contact with Xiao Zhan through various professional and personal encounters. This network of relationships had been largely hidden from public view, making Wang Yibo's decision to bring everyone together all the more surprising. Xiao Zhan, who had been enjoying a period of relative privacy after his own meteoric rise to fame, was initially taken aback by Wang Yibo's suggestion. However, sources reveal that his surprise quickly transformed into enthusiasm, as he realized the opportunity to host his friends in a relaxed, private setting away from the constant scrutiny of the public eye. The decision to open his home to the group was not taken lightly, as Xiao Zhan is known for being extremely protective of his personal space and privacy. The planning phase of this unprecedented gathering was shrouded in secrecy, with all parties involved taking extraordinary measures to ensure that their meeting would remain private. Wang Yibo coordinated with each UNIQ member individually, carefully explaining his vision for the evening and ensuring that everyone was comfortable with the arrangement. The level of trust required for such a gathering speaks to the deep bonds that had been maintained despite the pressures and demands of their individual careers. As the date of the gathering approached, anticipation among the participants reached fever pitch. Wang Yibo found himself both excited and nervous about the prospect of bringing together two important chapters of his life. The UNIQ members, who had their own individual relationships with both Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, were curious about how the dynamics would play out when all these separate friendships converged in one space. The evening itself began with Wang Yibo and the UNIQ members arriving at Xiao Zhan's residence, a beautiful and tastefully decorated home that reflected its owner's personality perfectly. The atmosphere was initially somewhat formal, as might be expected when bringing together individuals from different professional circles, but this formality quickly dissolved as the genuine warmth and friendship between all parties became apparent. What happened next was something that none of the participants, least of all Wang Yibo, could have predicted. Xiao Zhan, in a gesture that perfectly embodied his character as a host, had spent the entire day preparing an elaborate meal for his guests. This wasn't just a simple dinner, but a carefully crafted culinary experience that showcased skills that even his closest friends hadn't known he possessed. The revelation that Xiao Zhan could cook, and cook well, came as a complete shock to Wang Yibo. Despite their professional relationship and the time they had spent together in various industry settings, Wang Yibo had never had the opportunity to witness this particular talent. The sight of Xiao Zhan confidently moving around his kitchen, preparing dish after dish with obvious skill and passion, was a revelation that left Wang Yibo speechless. But the surprises didn't end there. As the evening progressed and the dishes were served, it became clear that Xiao Zhan's approach to cooking was as unique and unconventional as his approach to many other aspects of his life. The flavor combinations he had chosen were unexpected, to say the least, representing a fusion of different culinary traditions that shouldn't have worked together but somehow did. Wang Yibo's reaction to the food was a mixture of surprise, curiosity, and genuine appreciation. Each dish presented a new puzzle for his taste buds, flavors that were completely outside his usual experience but undeniably delicious. The fact that Xiao Zhan had put so much thought and effort into creating this unique dining experience for his guests was not lost on Wang Yibo, who found himself seeing his host in an entirely new light. The UNIQ members, who had their own established relationships with Xiao Zhan, were less surprised by his culinary skills but were nonetheless impressed by the effort he had put into the evening. Their reactions ranged from amused appreciation to genuine amazement at some of the more unusual flavor combinations that Xiao Zhan had concocted. As the evening wore on, the conversation flowed as freely as the unusual dishes kept appearing. The gathering became a celebration of friendship, creativity, and the unexpected connections that can form in the entertainment industry. Wang Yibo found himself marveling not just at Xiao Zhan's cooking abilities, but at the way his host had managed to create an atmosphere where everyone felt comfortable and welcome. The unusual nature of Xiao Zhan's cooking became a running theme throughout the evening, with each new dish prompting discussion, laughter, and sometimes bewildered but appreciative silence, as the guests tried to identify the various flavors and ingredients. Xiao Zhan's approach to cooking seemed to mirror his approach to his art, fearless experimentation combined with an intuitive understanding of what works. One particularly memorable moment came when Xiao Zhan served a dish that combined traditional Chinese flavors with Western cooking techniques, in a way that none of his guests had ever experienced before. Wang Yibo's expression as he tasted this creation was captured by several of the guests on their phones, creating a moment that would be treasured by all who were present. The evening also provided an opportunity for Wang Yibo and his former UNIQ bandmates to reconnect in a relaxed setting, sharing stories and memories from their time together, while also discussing their current projects and future plans. The presence of Xiao Zhan as a gracious host added an extra dimension to these conversations, as his perspective as someone who had achieved success in multiple areas of the entertainment industry proved invaluable. As the night progressed, it became clear that this gathering was about more than just sharing a meal. It was about celebrating the friendships that had developed over years of working in the same industry, the bonds that had been forged through shared experiences and mutual respect. The fact that Xiao Zhan had chosen to express his friendship through the medium of cooking added a deeply personal touch to the evening. The surprise that Wang Yibo felt at discovering Xiao Zhan's culinary talents was matched by his appreciation for the time and effort that had gone into preparing the meal. In an industry where genuine gestures of friendship can be rare, Xiao Zhan's decision to cook for his guests was a statement about the value he placed on these relationships.